as a team, we can't take this for granted. Like, these guys are coming back. They're pushing it. Like, they're giving you everything that's left in the tank, those two guys, and you can't count on them, extending past this year. This is our year to go for it, and we have to realize that and make sure we're not leaving anything on the table. And I think everybody's going to feel that once camp starts. That's going to be the
interview prep, baby.
Pass the torch, man. Keeps getting better.
I mean, I know I was always attached to it when I was younger. Kind of hearing those stories from my dad, you kind of get into it at a really young age. So I was around 3 or 4, and he always would just tell me that I always had a stick in my hand, always wanted to play, always wanted to do that. So, but for me, my earliest memories are, just playing at my hometown rink and really starting to grow the love for the game. And for me, that was Long Beach Apple Corps. My earliest memories of hockey and falling in love with the game started. From the earliest moments to now, early on, so McAvoy Plumbing and Heating, they used to do all the plumbing work over at the hockey rink over at Long Beach Ice Arena. So what ended up happening was, it helped him get a key to the rink. So they had this mini rink upstairs that was, really small, little studio rink. And that was really where it all started for me. He'd bring me up there whenever I wanted to play. And, barring it wasn't booked, that was kind of just our personal ice. I lived 3 blocks away from there. So that was really where it all started. And as far as a mindset goes, I really take a lot from him. He's taught me so many lessons, and I think the biggest one is that you just have to work for everything. Nothing's ever going to be handed to you. My mom tells the story, so my 2 youngest are twins.
Yeah.
She tells me the story. I don't really remember it too much, but just me crying my eyes out when they'd found out that they were gonna have 2 girls, and I'm like, you're kidding me? Like, you can't switch one of them to a boy? Like,
That's hilarious.
yeah, but wouldn't change anything, man. They're
I've grown up with them too, and
Absolutely.
we're a lot closer now, but definitely beat up on them as well.
I know. I just wanted one of them to be a boy, but they're amazing, and they're so influential in my life. I think the city obviously had a lot to do with it. I never really spent any time in a major city. Even when I would come up to Boston, never made it into the city. We didn't really do any Red Sox games or anything like that. When I was here, we were oftentimes in, Foxborough or, Marlboro, all the rinks up here where you'd be out in the middle of nowhere playing hockey. Yeah, exactly. So I didn't really know too much about it. And then when I got there, I kind of just really fell in love with it right away. So the city was a big sell. And then it was really the coaching staff. David Quinn, Steve Greeley, Scott Young, those were the 3 people at the time. And they just right away, I loved what they were selling. I really had a connection with them. I felt the attachment. I felt the, how genuine they were. And then after that, then it was really just the school. My mom really, that was the big check mark for her. She approved of the Boston University
Good
diploma.
academics.
Yeah. She was stoked on that, and really it just checked all the boxes for us. And, what a decision that ended up being. Yeah, I mean, it's always funny to look back on it, because on draft day, I remember my mindset was just I wanted to get drafted as high as possible. I just, this team, it went well. Maybe I'm going there. And all these teams, they kept going, and I kept, not getting selected. And then now that I look back on it, won't name drop any of those teams, but let's just say I couldn't be happier to be in Boston,
Right.
and you're not, saying, bad things about any cities or anything like that. But really more so just having fallen in love with Boston, having chose Boston, and then the flip side, Boston choosing me, and then I get to stay and continue my journey here. And playing for a team that was really competitive. Sometimes, you see those teams at the bottom of or at the top of the draft, they take a long time going through rebuilds, stuff like that. We've always been competitive, so it was just an amazing fit. Yeah, I mean, so many things, so many valuable lessons. Two guys that are, absolute, first ballot Hall of Famers, and so many accolades, and really the mark that they've left on the game is just, it's so instrumental. But I think for me, it was coming in, and I was a young guy, seeing how they treated day in and day out, the work ethic that they brought to the rink every day, their habits as a professional, how they take care of themselves. That was kind of the biggest thing for me, because I was playing Xbox in a dorm room like a month before, and kind of just eating dining hall and blah blah blah, and then you show up and these guys are, Z was always like vegan, which I never got fully into, but I definitely had an appreciation for just a rigid diet, like doing things that make sense to get the best out of yourself, those things, and really just the work habits overall, and then just how they treat people. Like, that was the biggest thing for me, how genuine they were, and every person in TD Garden, Warrior, hotel lobby, restaurant, they always had time for everybody, was always please and thank you in the most sincere way. And I think that was really the biggest thing, is just certain people can fake that, I guess, but you could just tell how genuine it was with them. Like, at the end of the day, they're just great people. I think it was kind of something, just maybe a headline like surrounding that. For me, I felt like, looking at it, like I had already played, equivalent minutes to Z. At times when he was out, I'd play more. When I was out, obviously he was playing a lot. But when it came down to it, I had already felt as though I'd taken all these steps, and so much of it was thanks to him. For me, I just kind of wanted to embrace the challenge of, okay, I'm already here at a level that I like where I'm at. Like, I want to just keep going, and that was kind of my own thing. I didn't feel like it was necessarily like a bigger pressure or anything, to really throw on top of myself. I just tried to keep it kind of day to day, and then also just trusting your teammates, right? Because everybody's got to fill the void that Z left, his 7-foot void.
Yeah.
But, I think we did a good job at it, and we've always been competitive. Yeah, Grizzy's my boy. We've been through so much together. From that year at BU, I remember I was just 17-year-old kid, and I was super impressionable, and I wanted to learn. I wanted to really just fit into the team dynamic, and you could tell right away that Grizzy was the guy. Like, his play spoke for itself. The way he carried himself, like who he was on and off the ice, like he just had that contagious personality, and I really wanted to to befriend him right away, to learn from him, and we hit it off at school. Learned so much from him, and we had a great year that year. We played together. He had a little bit of injury trouble, but like when he came back, he was going crazy in college, and then to be able to take that to Providence when I was there for a little bit, and then to the Bruins, we came in together. And just to go on this journey, we've been doing everything together. We're right down the street from each other. We talk every day. Like, he just to have someone that close that you could share the ride with, and and support, and just be there for each other through everything. Like, it really makes a difference. Yeah, and that just goes back to the guys we talked about, like Z and Burgie, Marshy included, Krejci, the guys that were there for a long time. Like, they create a culture of that, those characteristics I said, that love, that care for people that you can't fake. It's genuine, and when you come into the room, whether you have 1,000 games or 1 game or 0 games, like, you are now one of the guys. And if you're up for a weekend, like, you are one of the guys, and you're going to get treated like that. You're going to get encouraged, and you're going to get brought into the fold, and everybody roots for each other. Everybody, it's a team game. Like, you're only as good as your last player. So it's so encouraging, and that's really the culture that they've created over a long time. And it's a competitive culture, but it's it's built on that love and support for one another. And it's something that I know now I'm really I've already appreciated it and understood it for a while, but now it's kind of like, okay, we're getting into this next phase. How are we going to keep it going? How are we going to make sure that those things don't die? Because it's what's made playing for the Bruins so special. And I really think that without that, like you're really going to be missing something. So it's on us, kind of this next crew. Those guys won't be here forever, to make sure that is always kind of something that's synonymous with wearing that logo. I mean, it means a ton. Like Bergie, obviously, we spoke on, like, he's irreplaceable and he is the captain in every single way. So having him back is just, I mean, everyone knows what that means. But then getting Krejci back, Krejci is a guy who just a really contagious personality. Like, he's one of the guys that makes coming to the rink fun every day. Just to have him back in the fold is going to be great. And then also him as a player is just, I don't think I've played with many people who are as skilled as him, who think the game, and not only that, but puck skills. And it's just really someone special. He always finds me out there. He finds everybody out there. His hockey sense is off the charts. So he will be an immediate, impact when he gets back. And, he's coming up on 1,000 games, a lot of special stuff. So, I mean, in my mind, it's like, as a team, we can't take this for granted. Like, these guys are coming back, they're pushing it. Like, they're giving you everything that's left in the tank, those two guys, and you can't count on them, extending past this year. This is our year to go for it, and we have to realize that and make sure we're not leaving anything on the table. And I think everybody's going to feel that once camp starts, that's going to be the yeah, I mean, the city of Boston means so much to me. Kind of just going back, like I chose to be here. I fell in love with this city, and then I wanted to be here. Went to BU, and then it doesn't happen very often for a lot of people. But I ended up getting drafted here, so then they chose me, and it was kind of just this love affair began. And since then, it was after my first year. So after my rookie year was the first year I went home still. And then after that, I've been here ever since. So I live here year round for the last 5 years, and spend all my time here. And I've really grown to love it, the appreciation for everyone. And more so, I think the biggest thing is the sports culture for me. Like, I really believe that it's the best sports town in America. I think getting here and learning about it, obviously the Patriots kind of went through a little bit of a change with Tom Brady leaving, but before that, when I was in college, I went to the parade after they beat Atlanta. Like, I was here to that. I was here to see that. And now my one goal is I just want to be a part of the City of Champions. Like, I feel like I want to win here so bad, so you can be a part of it. I feel like it's not something you can fake. Either you've won here or you haven't. And I feel like once you do, you get to join that fraternity of athletes who have won here and who have put on for the city. And I mean, I know that's all the motivation I have. That's it. It's unmatched. I think I love how blue collar it is too. Like, it's just, I don't know, the support's off the charts. Everyone here has always been so nice to me, and you can just feel like kind of the grit of the city, and I think that's something that's really special. Like, I mean, these people go to bed every night, and it's contingent on how the Bruins did or how the Celtics did, like the Sox, like whether they're gonna have a good day tomorrow. And
it's
like
a good day at work or not.
Exactly.
The Bruins
Exactly.
Or Patriots or Celtics. Or
exactly. And like, I mean, I can appreciate that. Like, I grew up on going to school on Monday was terrible if the Giants lost.
Yeah.
Like, hell, I'm still like that. But you can have that appreciation because I've been a fan of sports. I still am a fan of sports. So I get where they're coming from, and you always just want to you want to give back for all that great sport. Yeah, so I mean, pretty nostalgic, but I go and work out at BU. I've spent the last 4 summers there. I guess the only blip was COVID. We were locked out of there, so we were kind of doing the best of it with what we could during then, like a lot of people. But I've been there ever since. For me, it's always nice to get a little break from Warrior, which is our beautiful practice facility. But just not being there 365, I think goes a long way for the mental. Like, I do want to be in Boston. I choose Boston, and but I think it's just a little refresher. So when you get back in there for training camp, like you're jazzed, you're fired up to be there. So spend the morning at BU, we'll skate there or at Warrior, and then after that Usually got my pup walking around the seaport here.
Otto.
Yeah, Otto. I mean, I don't know. There's a million good places to eat.
Right.
It's always great. I mean, walking over the bridge, like sitting by the water, it's always great. And then, and then Kylie, my fiance, so she's down in Duxbury. So we get out of the city a lot too, go down there, and what a beautiful beach town that is. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. There's no shortage of stuff to do. That's for sure. Brian Leach, when he was with the New York Rangers. Derrick Henry, watching him run a football.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
I think it's Krejci. It was Bergie put a pretty good playlist together last year. Yeah, he is very in tune with what's going on. Yeah, he loves his music. Like he'll come in with stuff we haven't even heard drop yet. He's got it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's pasta.
Yeah, easy.
He brings it. He brings it every day.
Every day.
Every
Hey,
day.
feel good.
No
look
off
good, play
days.
good,
Yeah,
man.
for him. I think we eat the most at Lola 42 right here in the
Fire.
Seaport.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love our sushi, so
There
they
you
don't
go.
disappoint. Height. I think character. I think that kind of can apply to a lot of things,
100%.
under the umbrella of that. Yeah, I was talking about this the other day. I think, talking to someone who, he's about 14, 15, youth hockey player, and my biggest thing I said to him was, it's human nature to compare yourself to other people, right? And I always say, growing up, I certainly did it, and oftentimes it would just leave me kind of sad, doubting where I was at as a player. Those years they're so crucial for development. There's guys that are going to be fully grown by 15. There's guys who haven't even started growing yet by then. So I think those ages, those high school years it's really important. Don't compare yourself to other people. Yeah, you can look around and appreciate where they are. Use that as motivation, absolutely. But you got to run your own race, and everyone's race is different. People cross the finish line at different times. It's winding. It's a long road. But I think that's my biggest thing is, looking back on it, like take your time, have an appreciation for the journey that you're on, and just always work hard. That's it.
Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoyed the content. There's plenty more Pass the Torch episodes, along with other podcasts we got going on and video series we do. So subscribe, and we'll see you later.